So, the Fallout show. What are my thoughts on it? This will be full spoilers. We kind of talked about it non-spoiler, but it's very hard to talk about it non-spoiler. So, we'll talk about full spoilers here. So, yeah, be very careful, obviously, if you don't want to hear spoilers for the Fallout television show airing on Amazon Prime. Okay. So, yeah, loved Lucy McLean. I thought she was a great actress. Ella Purnell. I thought that the Vault stuff in general was really good. I loved her catchphrase, okie dokie. Fun little Vault-esque catchphrase. Loved everything about her character and the Vault in general. Little twist where there's 3 connected vaults is pretty cool. I really enjoyed that twist because they definitely set up for you to think that there's only 2. And they exchange, like, a wedding person. If I recall correctly, they exchange, like, a person to be wed or bred or both. And for, like, food, right? Or, like, supplies or something. So that's a really good idea. It's a cool Vault idea. Because, again, if you don't know Vault Tech, and they explain this in the show, like, always has secret experiments going on with each vault. So the idea of like a tri-connected vault where they kind of like exchange members and also have farming societies, great idea. Love that. The aesthetic of the vault was perfect. I mean, the set design in general was immaculate. They were like, I read that like Todd Howard was like 3D printing files from the game that they would use as prints, use as 3D printed props. And yeah, the show is immaculate with its set design. Every little thing that's from the games, I mean, is perfect. It was awesome. Loved the Vault stuff. Looked perfect. Some of the best actors and characters. You know, like, I love Kyle MacLachlan. Kyle MacLachlan played an extremely small part. Seems to be gearing up for a big part, which I was hoping for. I was like, if they don't use him a lot in this season, I hope that he builds up to a bigger character, which definitely seems like it'll be. Because I love Kyle MacLachlan, especially when he plays... I mean, he doesn't really play like sinister... Oh, yeah, Twin Peaks: The Return, he plays a very sinister character. So yeah, the Vault casting, the Vault actors, the Vault characters, the Vault stuff in general was immaculate. So well done. Really liked the main character, Lucy. Great character. The Ghoul had an epic intro. I found the bad guys a little too cartoony. I heard he killed like 5,000 people. What? I heard he can't be killed unless... And again, maybe you could say like, oh, they're supposed to kind of be like the games where they're wacky. Sure, but I don't know if that translates as well with like live action. I don't know. It's kind of like the One Piece live action. It's like, it's supposed to be goofy, of course. I don't know. Parts of the show were a little too over the top, which took me out a little bit because there is supposed to be a level of realism, right? Or else you don't resonate with the serious parts as much. But Ghoul had an epic introduction. Great character. Really surprised me with the evil that he did. Cutting off Lucy's finger in relation to his finger was... And she still has that stitched up finger, right? Which is cool. I like that they like take the pure Vault Dweller and kind of like wasteland her up. Like cutting her finger off and replacing it with like a zombie finger. Stuff like that. And then also, like, the waterboarding he did. Like, he did some really bad, which I liked a lot. Because I really expected him to just be our typical anti-hero that everybody loves. You know, kind of like Deadpool. And then, yeah, Ralph Emerson, I think is his name, who plays the scientist. I forget his name. Wilzig or something like that. Interesting MacGuffin, where she has to cut off his head and take the head to Moldaver. Expected him to be a bigger role, and then they just like cut off his head in episode 2, and he just carried around this rotting head throughout the series. That was great. Like that idea. The Ripper seed was excellent. You know, all the there it is. Like the Ripper was great. Dog meat is a dog. Everyone's gonna love dog meat. I'm sure there's a million memes where it's like, you better stim pack that dog or I'll stop watching the show. Whatever. You know, it's a dog. I guess. The dog does have lore implications, right? The dog is special somehow, maybe? Or is I was confused. Is it connected to like the thing in his neck, which I guess is the cold fusion? I guess not. It's just a dog, right? But it'll obviously be a companion, you know, throughout the show. Let's see what else. Half the characters I really liked. Half the characters I didn't. They didn't really land with me. Like the shopkeep crazy lady in like episode 2 or whatever. Or not crazy, but, you know, just kind of like a wasteland older lady. She was perfect for like a wasteland resident. Really rough around the edges. You know, extremely mean. And, yeah, she was great. But, like, I think about, like, the two... There's that one character actor that's in so much stuff. Like, he always plays just, like, slack-jawed idiots, basically, on the couch with the organ harvesting robot. Felt like that was just, like, okay, so what? He's just, like, mentally gone, basically? Like, what is his character? I don't know. I just kind of felt, okay. Didn't really buy it. She, like, lets the ghouls go free, and they know the ghouls are going to kill them, but he still presses the button? Like, I feel like you definitely tell Lucy at that point, hey, these ghouls are going to come out and literally kill us. But no, he's just like, all right, I'll press the button. And the ghouls come out and kill them extremely violently. The ghoul stuff I didn't like in terms of the lore changes. I'm not really, like, a lore nerd that much. I guess the show did piss off a lot of people, especially with Shady Sands and the NCR stuff in terms of the lore. The only thing about the lore that really rubbed me the wrong way was the ghoul changes. They made them like Wolverine now, where like they just heal from any wound. And then also they need constant supply of Radaway in order to not turn feral, which is brand new, right? And then also people just turning into ghouls over time through radiation exposure. Is that how the games work or not? I'm not really sure. Those changes felt kind of weird, and I don't really know if that benefited the show or not. Who else? Maximus. We should touch on Maximus. Really disliked Maximus a lot. He definitely was my least favorite character by far. Just felt far too pathetic and stupid and cowardly. And again, I was like holding out hope. Maybe they were going for something with that. But in the end, to me, it just felt... No, he's just an unlikable character, and I don't really understand. You know, he ends as being like, they think he killed the bad guy, so he's now going to become a knight. It just feels like, God, this whole guy's story is literally just getting credit for things he didn't do. Which, that's a very weird character. I definitely found him very unlikable. Easily my least favorite part of the show. Brotherhood stuff in general, very kind of weird. They added, like, clerics or something. And they made it more religious zealotry, which is an interesting take. I'll have to see more of that in the second season for sure. The armor looked fantastic, but felt kind of too styrofoamy. I didn't really fully buy the armor. Yeah, the plot... Okay, so the end of the show, it is revealed. And I definitely knew they were building up to a big reveal, because they have all these things in place, you know, for the reveal. The reveal did not land on me at all. Because basically what happens is Vault Tech brings together everybody, which was epic. I did like that a lot. You have, like, which they're all mentioned in, like, New Vegas, apparently. Sinclair, I was wondering, is that Sinclair from Sierra Madre? Which I guess it is, which is weird because he's, like, a big guy, but in Sierra Madre, he's a very thin guy and, like, you know, your typical suave dude or whatever. But yeah, they have, like, Sinclair from Dead Money DLC in New Vegas, who represents Big MT, which is kind of crazy. Old World Blues DLC in New Vegas. They have some lady that represents Repcon, which I guess she's also mentioned somewhere in the games. They had Mr. House, which was an epic moment for sure. I was very surprised they brought in Mr. House. And then, yeah, you have West Tech, which I don't even know anything about West Tech. Was West Tech made for the show or for the games or something? I don't know. I don't know if West Tech existed in the games or not. But then you have Vault Tech, who is overseen, or at least she's like high up, the wife of Cooper, who is the ghoul in the future. But they keep cutting back to like his story in the past, pre-war. And basically, they explain that like Vault Tech wants to kill everybody in the world by dropping nukes so that they're the only ones left, so they win business. That was hilariously stupid to me. I could not buy into that at all. I was extremely disappointed that that was, like, the big reveal. That, like, basically the trifecta of vaults, one of them is filled with buds, basically people, like, brought up to manage the wasteland. So weird, which I'm fine with weird, because it's the wasteland. It's Fallout, that's fine. But, like... Yeah, they basically send in overseers from buds who are cryogenically frozen to breed with Vault 32 and 33 to make managers to take over what's left of the wasteland when the whole world is destroyed. I just felt like that was so incredibly stupid. Like, I couldn't buy it. I'm sorry. It was just like, what? So you're the king of dirt? Like, who cares? I understand corporate greed, but like, A, you're so evil. You're willing to destroy the world purely for corporate greed. And then B, you're going to be cool with like running nothing, basically, like a wasteland and mutants? What? I just like was like, okay, that's just a really... That twist really did not vibe with me at all. I was able to deal with like the vault, you know, I was really curious about the vault stuff, like the third mysterious vault, what's going on in there. And then like, I was kind of expecting, something like a bunch of cryogenic tubes or clones or whatever. So that, that part was cool and fine. But just the general vault tech bombing the world. Now, from what I understand, it's not confirmed that they actually bombed the wasteland. They just said they were going to, basically. So we still don't know who bombed who first. China, which funnily enough, I saw mention, like, they did not mention China at all, which is hilarious. I think because they wanted to, like, succeed in China with this show, and they don't want to, like, cause China to get upset that they're, like, an aggressor or something. They only mentioned commies. They never mentioned China, which, if you don't know, in the Fallout universe, China and the U.S. are kind of like what starts the whole world getting destroyed. Someone bombs whoever, and then everybody bombs everybody, right? So yeah, really did not like that twist. Just felt very stupid to me. And then the other twist is that Hank McLean, the overseer, Kyle MacLachlan, Lucy's dad, he's part of Bud's Bud, and he's like, and he's one of the people that was placed to become an overseer. And then he bombs Shady Sands, which was also super weird to me. So apparently this guy, Kyle MacLachlan, has access to nukes somewhere and can single-handedly launch a nuke at the NCR, who's positioned in Shady Sands, completely eradicating the NCR single-handedly, who also turns his wife into a ghoul by doing that. Which the ghoul thing was cool. I was like, okay, the mom's a ghoul. As soon as the ghoul appeared on screen, I was like, okay, that's probably the mom. And it was the mom. That's pretty messed up, And like once he does that, you just know he's irredeemable completely. And he still tries to reason with Lucy, which is obviously not going to happen. Yeah, I just really didn't buy the ending. I really was hoping for something a little bit better written, in my opinion. And yeah, Moldaver's kind of weird as well, because it's like, okay, so Moldaver breaks into... Yeah, that was also super... It's very interesting at first when you don't know what's happening, but then when you think about it, it's like, what is going on? Moldaver breaks into... Moldaver represents the NCR and what's left, right? Because they literally have an NCR flag at the end when they're battling the Brotherhood of Steel. So they represent the remnants of Shady Sands and the NCR, right? She hires raiders to break into Vault 32... waits 2 years, then does the marriage trade with Vault 33, and kills everybody, or at least kills a lot of people. And she's cool with that? What? She represents, like, a good person or whatever, or, like, the NCR. But she's cool with hiring raiders, wiping out Vault 32, waiting 2 years, all in an effort to trick and capture Hank McLean. And then she says you have to choose between your dad or the survivors or whatever, which what was even the point of that? And then she leaves and she takes Hank McLean, and then she expects Lucy to be able to get the cold fusion, deliver it to her across the wasteland, reveal that her father is evil, and then use cold fusion to power up California. I just found that to be like, what the hell? That is so contrived, man. Like, what was her plan? Yes, it makes for interesting TV, sure. But it's like, if you think about it again, it's like, what the hell was going on, even with her plan? And yeah, they never mentioned how she's 200 years old or whatever. A lot of people say that, like, oh, she got, in with Vault Tech. So she was like an independent researcher, and then Vault Tech came in and bought all her research stuff, right? Yeah, a lot of people assume like she just got in with Vault Tech and was able to get a cryogenic cell. I don't really care about that, because a lot of people are like, yeah, is that a plot hole, or what's the deal with Moldaver being like as old as everybody else, even though she's not a ghoul and she wasn't with Vault Tech specifically? I don't mind that. I think that, she either has some serum, or she either, was able to get in a cryogenic cell, whatever. That's not a big deal to me. I just had bigger issues with the other plot holes and stuff, and just kind of like odd choices that characters make for these really contrived plans that don't really make much sense in the end. I don't know. So yeah, the end, the big reveal kind of made me think, like, what was even the point of half of the stuff going on in the show? Which you could say is nitpicking, I guess. I don't know. But I just, yeah, thinking critically about it, I just thought it was very silly in a lot of respects. Especially, my main point being, Vault Tech just doing what they did out of pure greed. Like, what? It just makes no sense to me. You're gonna literally destroy the world just to be richer when you don't even have quality of life because everything is destroyed. What? I don't know. But anyways, the rest of the show is pretty good. You know, the acting's great. Lots of funny, wacky, zany stuff that happens. Very entertaining show. You know, the aesthetic of it, the little attention to details with, like, the, you know, every little item that comes from Fallout was great. Not hit you over the head, member berries type stuff. Really good, interesting stuff. And then I guess I'll end the review with the end reveal. Yeah, that was crazy. So I was trying to guess what happens in at the end, because I had heard there was a reveal, and I was like, okay, what are they going to reveal? I was like, okay, is it going to be the Enclave? Is it going to be a Death Claw? What I was really thinking was either the Enclave, which I guess was already revealed because that's what the scientist is working under, right? But they didn't really show too much of the Enclave. Or super mutants. I was like, okay, it's got to be super mutants, right? They're going to show, like, big hulking super mutants, like, what is our plan for the wasteland? It's like, oh boy, super mutants in season 2. They did even better, which I'm surprised. Like, when it was coming to a close, I was like, oh, what if they do, like, Mr. House? Like, Mr. House is still alive, and they show something with him. And then, yeah, they reveal New Vegas, because Kyle MacLachlan's character, Hank McLean, steals a Brotherhood of Steel suit. And I was thinking about this, too. I was like, how does he make it from California to Nevada? I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of plot convenience, like I said. But anyways, it ends with him, very sunburnt and nasty boils on his face, seeing over the horizon New Vegas, which genuinely was a super hyped up moment. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. That's kind of like the obvious choice for where the show should go. But yeah, super epic. They're gonna do season 2 in New Vegas, it seems, which, yeah, is very weird because, again, the lore implications, they destroyed the NCR in this show, whereas in the game, NCR is obviously extremely, present. But people were saying there are crashed vertibirds in New Vegas when you see it, so it's like post-war? A lot of people were thinking they retconned New Vegas completely, but then they didn't, because it seems to be post-Hoover Dam War, post-Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited for that. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. What I'm hoping is, because apparently the show is canon, which means it has to take part in what happens in New Vegas, what happens in 4, what happens in 3, right? So what I'm hoping is, yeah, they deal with, like, the Courier has done everything in New Vegas, and then they deal with a post-New Vegas plotline, which what I would bet is that they go for the New Vegas House ending. Mr. House is still alive, in control. Hank McLean goes over to, like, talk with him and, like, try to, do something nefarious or whatever. And then season 2 mainly takes place in a post-Fallout New Vegas, which is extremely exciting. I'm hoping they take a lot of my negatives and a lot of the negatives I've seen about the show and they, like, improve on it, obviously, and then we have a New Vegas season 2. That would be great. But yeah, in general, I did like the show. I didn't think it was, like, as amazing as everybody was saying it was. I did think there was a lot of plot conveniences, and like I said, the big twist I did not like at all. But yes, the show had a lot of good stuff, a lot of great actors, a lot of intrigue and mystery, and extremely faithful to the source material in a lot of ways, as well as, like, all the little, nods to everything in the universe. Yeah, overall, I definitely liked it. I just kind of wish, I guess, the overall story was a little more solid, personally. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Fallout to the television show. Please let me know your thoughts. I would love to have a discussion. I'm always interested to discuss media. I very much enjoy that. All that I ask is, as usual, please stay respectful. Sure, you can disagree with me. Just stay respectful. If you're not respectful, I have no interest in talking with you. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.